Okay, we've talked a lot about leadership and getting the employees on the team and whatnot. Here we have a concept from the textbook called Social Loafing. What this says is, as the group size increases, individual efforts decrease. Maybe you've experienced this with your final projects or any group work that you have. In fact, I'm experiencing it right now. I've got to go contribute to my group, hopefully by tomorrow, or I'm going to be in big trouble. But as the group size increases, individual efforts decrease. If we have 2 people working on something, they might split it equally or almost equally. It's never going to be equal. 3 people, okay, now 4 people, now one's starting to get lost. And if we have a team of, say, 8 people, certainly some, and even bigger, think about huge organizations. So as the group size increases, individual effort decreases. Everyone else, the thought might be, everyone else is goofing off, so will I. I can too. We're lost in the crowd, so who cares? Maybe there's other people that are enjoying doing what they're doing and I'm not needed. We also might be experiencing motivational loss due to sharing of rewards. And let me get through this. We're getting in each other's way. We've talked about the heat in the kitchen. Well, if there's too many cooks in the kitchen, then I don't want to get in their way. So I'll just, depending on the personality type, I'll just fade away or sit in the corner or try to be productive in some other way. Try to contribute in some other way, but we don't want to get in each other's way. So maybe there's too many people working on whatever we're working on. Now, social loafing, as the group size increases, individual efforts decrease. We can hide in the crowd. Somebody else is slacking off, so I will, and then it's a... Now, I see this, especially when we're sharing rewards. I think we see this around town with the co-ops. Maybe it's the honeybee co-op, and they're going to have to share everybody's and the output, the bees, the honey, and well, they're not going to go today, so I'm not going to go today, and well, he'll take care of it or she'll take care of this, and actually we're not going to get that much because they're slacking off, and I'm going to have to share all of my stuff with them, and it's very demotivating. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with co-ops. Well, the co-op thing is, if we come together, we'll win, but then if we come together, we have to share everything, so it's not worth it. I've also seen this in politics. Here again, social loading. When we have too many people on the team, things go down. Maybe you've seen it during election times when the politicians, the hired guns, the hired politicians are coming around to your neighborhood. I see it, I see it every time. There'll be 3 or 4 knocking on doors, 3 or 4 over here knocking on doors, and then 12 sitting under a tree. They're going, well, you're going to get that out, so we'll just wait until, so productivity really goes down. So the problem with a lot of this is, and it's not mentioned, but, well, the boring task, but there's no meaningfulness in the project or whatever we're trying to accomplish. So I think, and you won't see this on the internet, on the Google until now, social loading is, could also be said. Why do we have to end the conversation with social loafing? Large groups of people are less productive. Why can't we say social loading and say as the team increases, the effort among the individuals increases? I think it's possible, and I think I've seen it around town. Here the difference is we have a leadership factor going on, and we've been talking about leadership for like 6 videos now. We have the leadership going on. We're on an inspiring mission, we hope. If it's not, of course you're going to get this. Yeah, you're going to get this. But we're trying to get here. We get some team spirit going on, and we get a feeling, a belief that we don't want to let the team down. We want to, do our part, pull our weight, and once we get some successes, the momentum starts to build, and it's all part of this intrinsic drive that people would have when they're in these large groups of people. So the mission becomes part of each person's identity. And I think all of this, the reason this happens, even though they say as a group size increases, individual effort decreases, I don't think it has to be that way. Is that a law? I don't think this is a law. Is this a law? I think as the group gets larger with leadership, inspirational, something meaningful. Do we have meaningful? Yes, meaningful right here. We have something meaningful to do, like a fundraising. You see some people, you know, the group really wants to pull their weight. They don't want to let down the team. It's all for a good cause. And it's part of them. It's the success is, you know, they don't want to be seen as failure. They want to be part of the success, and so they're part of the thing. So I see this also with politics. You see it in other cases. If it was a real big campaign year or something was really happening, and the values, you know, the stakes are really high, the group of people will really go out there and get them. Maybe you've seen it in the movies where they have the Amish community that comes together and builds a barn in one day. They could have all sat under, half of them could have sat under a tree, but you don't see that happening. In a related sort of way, sports, the big crowds, you know, if you go to a game and there's only a few people there, they're just gonna, you know, but if big game, I mean, I've heard about these stadiums with 90,000 people in there, and the energy, they just say the energy is incredible. You don't sit there rooting for your team and go, oh, somebody else will do it. Mobs, street mobs. The bigger they get, the more passionate everybody gets about it. So my point here is, if we were using the textbook, it would only talk about social loafing, as far as I know. Group size gets bigger, individual effort decreases. They get lost in the crowd, sharing rewards, not needed, tripping over each other. But I think there is this, social loading is what I call it, where if we have leadership, inspiration, something meaningful, I think the group increases. The group size increases the individual effort. So there is no, this is management. This is a management attitude. As sad as it is, that's a management attitude. Over here is a leadership attitude. And when we don't have, yeah, we're just going to get that. But you could have had this if we'd had meaningful leadership, team spirit, inspiring, intrinsic drive.